We are out with the deep liner gang, and Mr. Higashi has put us on fish, showing us some of the coolest stuff you'll ever see in slow pitch jigging. And we've been out here for quite some time now, just putting fish on the deck, learning about true slow pitch jigging, the roots of where it came from a guy who learned from the guy that invented it. Stick around, you're gonna love this one. There's so much to unpack here. You should know by now, I love slow pitch jigging. It is a style of fishing that has completely changed my life. At the point in time when I was introduced to slow pitch jigging, the information was limited and definitely not in English. So we started sharing information as we received it through social media, chat rooms, and wherever we could be heard. We went from a whisper in the States to a shout from the mountaintop. People started taking an interest, and now you could find slow pitch jigging gear in almost every shop across the USA. But here's the thing. We didn't start this, but I can tell you who did. Welcome to Japan. Osaka, also known as Japan's Kitchen. Here, you'll find an incredible street food scene. Everything from sushi to Japanese barbecue, tightly packed restaurants, and a transit system like no other. And as the day turns into night, the Dotonbori district lights up with neon signs. Built on rivers and canals, it's a great place to unwind after a long day's traveling. However, we're not here for the nightlife. We came for the fishing. Osaka is home to some of the best tackle shops in Japan, and our first stop is Angler Shop Agua.
Locked in? No, door doesn't open. Oh no, I'm locked in. Oh, arigato. Man. So we just traveled over 2 hours to arrive at this tackle shop. First thing you'll notice is a big deep liner sign out front. And I am so excited to go inside here and see what type of tackle we are missing out on. However, before I go inside and just start recording, I need to ask the owner if I can have permission to record. So this is incredible. It is just row after row of slow pitch jigs, and I mean just some of the coolest colors. Look, as you can see, he's already got a basket going. But I'm just so excited to actually start shopping. But I wanted to show you guys some of the things that are in here.
Are you planning on shipping directly?
Ocean Jiggers, Marfix, Blue Heaven, just some of the most
Yeah, if you can do that.
incredible lures, every color you can imagine. And then look at the catch shots here with these guys. Look at this.
On your handle? 2-speed.
More jigs, and more jigs. Chad, is this is like a really like a specialty store for jigs, right?
Yeah, so English Shop Aqua is basically #1 in Japan for deep liner sales mainly.
Okay.
It does a lot of custom colors, like obviously Seafloor Control, Garage Nagi. He's kind of like the main pro shop in Japan.
Okay.
That's the one like most people in the US are very familiar with is this store.
Okay.
You know, he does very good on social media.
Yeah.
Does very good marketing.
Okay.
There are other stores in Japan as well, but most of the time this is the main one.
When I say specialty, it's mostly jigs.
No, all jigs, yeah.
So,
No, this
yeah.
store is nothing
So you're
but
not
jigging.
there's no trolling gear. It's just
No, this is jigs 100%. Yeah, so everything here from jigs to assist hooks to a cord to
Anything that stands out
I
to
mean
you.
everything, dude. He's even got my plugs in here.
Oh, he's got the plug.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Anything like
Like all the braids.
yeah. Oh, okay.
You know, so they make everything.
Okay. Oh, the fire line.
Yeah, so Super Fire Line. The two most popular braids in Japan is going to be Super Fire Line and Sunline ULT.
Okay.
You know, they've got even like specialty hook bending tools is something that Sato himself made to make the hook point closer to the spade to keep you from hanging bottom as much.
Okay.
And that's what this tool does.
Oh.
Yeah, they've got everything, man.
Everything.
All the main stylus.
What is
hooks you
this shit?
So this is an assist hook holder.
Okay.
That it's like if you want something
multiples.
small, it's just what these do is they bend, and as they straighten out, they keep tension on the product, so
Okay.
keeps them in place.
Okay.
You know, so like these hooks were NS Pros developed by Sato himself.
Oh.
know,
Oh,
and-
look at this square ring on.
On the spades.
Yeah.
And they're flat like that, so if you tied with thread, it keeps them locked in a little bit better. And then these are all hooks that Kikuma ties himself for the store.
Yep.
You know, so really
Oh,
good
okay,
thread
so-
work. You've got the big singles. So
Yeah.
if you're fishing longer, really deep.
One thing I gotta show our people, America, just take a look.
Yeah.
Dude, there is no hooks.
Oh
on
yeah, no.
Any of these
No,
lures. It's the best way for me personally. I hate taking the hooks off. However, you guys like the hooks. We give you the hooks.
Yeah, no, I mean it's I get the view of jigs coming with hooks in the US, like I understand it.
Yeah.
But as far as like fine tuning and stuff like that,
Right.
ideally you won't see a jig with hooks in Japan. Maybe on some like very low end stuff, yeah, but most people here are trying to tune the hooks to the jig that they're about to
They
use.
want it
Yeah.
very specific to that jig.
And you won't see any flashing, no glow on hooks really. You don't see any skirts on hooks.
Mm.
You know, that's very basic, and they want the jig to do the work, to lure the fish in, not the hooks.
Not the hooks.
Yep.
Makes sense. So we're about to clean this guy out. Look at Dr. Manny's insane. He's got all these massive jigs, but these fellas have just loaded down. But he was super nice. Gave us shirts and a towel, which we're gonna need on the water. And then I opted to try out some of the heavier deep liner jigs, as well as a few in the 300 gram range. And then this is kind of like a house hook, I guess, with the spade in, and then some cord so I can tie a few of my own hooks out there. But one thing I wanted to show you guys, you'll notice that all the hooks are without eyes, so it's all spade ends. And I've tied hooks this way with the spade in the past, and just didn't quite believe in the staying power of them without actually using a bobbing tool and winding on it. However, I did watch Chad on our last fishing trip be very successful with these hooks without using the bobbing tool, so I'm just gonna have to trust in the process, and I'm gonna give it a go this time. Before we leave Angler's Shop Aqua, I want to test your knowledge of fish here, so let's start here.
Ishinagi.
All right.
That's an amberjack.
Yeah, that's easy one.
Mahata, which means for grouper, but 8-bar grouper.
You're doing pretty good.
Alfonzino.
What?
Alfonzino. Dogtooth tuna. Scombrop or black queen. Skillfish. Scombrop again.
This one.
So queen snapper.
Queen snapper, the same as back home. All right. That one.
8-bar grouper as well.
Oh my gosh, dude. Hold on. There's got to be a weird one here that you don't know, right?
You've got one up there.
That one.
That's a puka.
Bro. Wait. Oh.
That's a Mahata. So a 7-bar grouper.
7.
Yeah.
Wait, there's an 8-bar and there's a 7-bar.
Yeah, I mean, technically, if you were to count the bars on it, yeah, the 7 bars are generally gonna be a little smaller.
I am super
Yeah, so
impressed.
we'll catch the 7 bars. Then you got long tooth grouper, and then this one I'm not sure. So see this. This one.
It's very red.
Yeah. So the thing that we've caught similar to that is in Alaska in like 1,800 to 2,000 foot, called a short raker rockfish. These are very similar. They catch them extremely deep.
Okay.
Yeah, very delicious. But
So for me, like the 8-bar and 7-bar grouper look very similar to the mystic grouper that sometimes we catch in Pulley Ridge,
Yeah.
more prevalent in the Bahamas. And then the queen snapper is the queen snapper,
Queen
which is
snapper's
cool.
queen snapper.
However, this fish,
the Akamatsu is different. Yeah. So if you see one in person, it's going to be very different than
Okay.
a queen or anything.
Okay.
The other thing that's very different is a skillfish. This picture's probably the best.
Yeah.
But this is a skillfish. They breed or spawn in 2,500 to 3,000 foot. These guys are out here jigging them manually, like no electrics. From that deep, using like 900 to 1,500 gram jigs. And this species gets close to 200 pounds, and they only spawn in the wintertime, so it's really rough out, cold, rainy. I mean, you got to be a different animal.
It looks almost like a catfish type of
So
body.
this one is narrower. They can be taller. The closest thing is a sablefish, so like a black cod. That's what they're closest to. I've got a theory that they're in California, like in Monterey Trench, because they have one in Monterey Aquarium, and I think they go from whether it's Tokyo across into Monterey up towards Russia and Alaska, but no one's jigging deep enough in California to target them.
So this is a
So
super
it's one of
deep
my
water fish.
Yeah, I think there's a potential to catch these in California.
Okay.
The hardest thing is finding someone with a bottom finder to find
target
right bottom.
them.
Yeah, so
Right. So just so you guys know, here, the amberjack is I think it's a little different. It's not as wormy. It's a highly sought after fish here,
it's
right?
not just here. It's pretty much everywhere else
Yeah,
in the
except
world
for where
except
we're
for the
in
United
Florida.
States. Yeah, it's
Okay.
there. I think the biggest thing is like for us is we have so many jacks.
Yeah.
And in the U.S., everyone's like grouper snapper. When realistically, the amberjack is great for sushi and sashimi and stuff like that, whether they have worms or not.
Yeah.
You know, but they have a good fat content, so they have a good flavor. But in Japan, especially, they appreciate the fight of whatever species they're catching.
Okay.
So that's where amberjack.
When it comes to fight,
Yeah. So I mean,
if we go from 0 to hero, just know,
it's a big AJ.
big age.
Yeah. If you want people to be excited for you and everything, a big AJ is where it's at, because the fight is so crazy. Because they catch, you know, just the past couple of weeks, they've caught something like 160 pounds. So I mean, 160 pound AJ is a mean animal.
What city are we in right now?
We're in Shizuoka.
Shizuoka. So if you guys come and you do this trip behind us with the guys from Deep Liner and Shizuoka, you're in the area, definitely stop at English
Shop Aqua. So there's English Shop Aqua, there's Fishing Scrap, there's many different pro shop type stores here in Japan that are jigging only dedicated.
Okay.
You know, so it's just a matter of sourcing them out and finding them.
We're gonna go.
here.
We're gonna go see a few more. So we're in Ichiban 8, and this store is a little bit overwhelming, right? I mean, there is just
No, I don't know if it is.
so many SKUs of product in here, and it's as high as you can reach. Rods tend to be on the walls like this. There's so many different products for every style of inshore, offshore fishing in this store. I think any fish that you could possibly ever want to catch in the world, you can get products here. Just for, look at all the just bobbers alone, rod making products. Chad's for sale here. Do you see it? This guy's geeking over glue. He's literally
The most important thing for me is
bought
the super glue here.
more glue than I've ever like.
It's
He's
not the same, Don.
honestly, I don't know if you can get on the plane with that, Chad.
Like, what do you need?
Yeah.
This glue?
But just all of the tools, I mean, if you guys can just kind of look around, not only is it endless, but there's a whole nother floor just above us of more endless supply. Everything stick baits, soft plastics, pretty overwhelming.
You might be wondering how I ended up here. Well, let me explain. Meet Chad Bouchier. Chad is about as close to a Mr. Miyagi and Daniel-san relationship with Mr. Higashimura that one can have. He visits Japan several times a year, and the Deep Liner team has taken them under his wing and turned him into what I consider one of the top 1% of slow pitch jigging anglers here in the United States. Lucky for me, Chad's a friend, and I got invited to tag along.
Look at this jigging machine. This boat is massive. Look at this piece of machinery, guys. Where do I put my dry bag?
Okay, so we'll go do that. So we go in.
Okay. Oh my gosh, this is like a spaceship. Wow, man. What do you think, Mr. Suzuki? This boat is incredible, man.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, guys, this is the moment you've been waiting for. boat is like the biggest center console I have ever been on. Fully walk around, and honestly I feel like this is just designed for jigging. Like, it's probably one of the most incredible jigging boats I've ever seen. There's a big bunk downstairs. The electronics that he has on here are top notch. This is pretty exciting. But we got about a 2-hour run out. We're gonna relax for a little bit because we only got a few hours of sleep after dinner last night, and see if we can catch some fish in Japan. See you guys on the water.
In the late 90s, early 2000s, Norihiro Sato in Japan pioneered a brand new jigging technique, slow pitch jigging, designed to entice fish even when they weren't actively feeding. The founder of Deepliner, Mr. Higashimura, who is recognized as one of the original pioneers of slow pitch jigging and learned the technique from Sato himself, explained to me that Mr. Sato started with fishing one jig and one rod. He was able to manipulate the movement of the jig by changing leader, assist hooks, line size, and movement of the rod. In a sense, all of these changes were a code that had to be cracked every time you went on the water. He in effect started recognizing patterns and finding repeatable processes. However, the average angler would never be able to crack the code Mr. Sato has done so consistently. This is why Mr. Higashimura created Deepliner. Essentially, he created jigs with different shapes and rods with different actions that could assist in mimicking the movements of bait fish and could attract bites even from non-active fish or dormant
The
fish.
current is so slow here that this deep jigging, I mean, we're in 900 feet of water, guys, and I'm fishing a 300-gram jig, which is pretty incredible for like my home fishery on the Atlantic. It's out of the question. It's not pulling back, but it's heavier than a jig. What is that? Look at that! What is that? Is that a black belly rosefish? Wow! Yeah! What the heck is that? Whoa! Turn the jig. Yes. No, dangerous. Dangerous. Okay.
Day one on the Deepliner boat was something special. I kicked things off with a scorpion fish, then Suzuki followed with a brocade perch, also known as a soldier fish. Chad added a rockfish to the mix, and most of the species were new to me. And honestly, I couldn't even recognize half of them. Mr. Higashimura explained that when fish are actively feeding, a high-pitch, faster style works best. But today, the bite was slow. So we had to really slow our presentation down. It was hot, the current was light, and we were dropping 300-gram jigs in serious depth. The slow current might have been holding back the bite.
I think they fought that thing for 3 hours together. It ends up being a big thresher shark. Not the yellowfin we're looking for, but you know, it's something cool. So it's not every day you catch a big old thresher. I think it had to be, I don't know, probably 12 foot, 10, 12 foot. So it was a giant thresher. So I'll try again.
What a long day. 3 a.m. at the boat, and then we're 3 p.m. back. So 12-hour day, and we fished hard today. It was pretty interesting being on a new boat that I've never been on before. The electronics that were on the boat were pretty incredible, and the way the boat moves, because he has stern thrusters as well as bow thrusters. So because we ran so far, we did about a 2.5-hour run out. We're actually not staying in the same hotel as we did the previous night, so we're checking in to a new place tonight. That way we can fish these waters. The captain seems to think that this area is going to be more productive for us as far as fishing, so he wants to stick in this area and not have to run so far tomorrow, and see if we can't get tight. So we're gonna go eat some food, check into a hotel, get cleaned up, and hit it again in the morning. Looks like we've got our first fish of the morning. Yeah!
Almost every time Higashimura came out and demonstrated a jigging technique, he hooked a fish immediately and handed it off to Suzuki. That right there proves jigging isn't luck, it's science. Day 2 on the water started slow. We were marking fish on the screen, but getting them to bite was a whole different story. Still, we managed a few. Josh and Suzuki both caught a ruby snapper. Suzuki added an amberjack and an almaco jack. And Chad and I landed a fish I couldn't quite identify. Drop a comment below if you know what it is. It was only half a day of fishing with a long ride back to the hotel, but honestly, the highlight for me came later, over dinner. Mr. Higashi shared some of his jigging wisdom, and that made the whole day worth it.
And he's fishing with a power 6 today. And he's getting no results. Would he just try to slow his technique down, or would he keep the same technique and drop way down in rod power?
彼のが言ってるのは6番で、もっとスローにした方がいいのか、ロッドを下げて、同じアクションに行った風に、それの区別がやっぱり分かってないですね。ロッドを下げるとアクションが柔らかくなるから。
What Mr. Higashi is explaining is that the same rod is possible to create different actions to trigger a bite. But the easier way is often just switching to a different rod action. Most anglers have a natural rhythm, a tempo that they stick to, and changing that tempo can be harder than it looks. That's why adjusting rod strength, choosing a softer or faster action is usually the simpler and smarter solution. But here's the key. Seasoned anglers like Mr. Sato can produce all those actions with a single rod. That's the level of mastery that we're talking about.
It feels like a rock. What in the world is that, bro? No way! What is that? Woo! Look at that fish! That is so cool, man.
That's what they serve like high-end.
It just, the shape of this fish doesn't make any sense to me. But he's got this huge mouth, if you guys can see. And then these fins that go up on the top. The name of the fish that we just caught is a John Dory. First time I've ever seen that fish. So for us, it's not as much about the big fish, but the fish that we've never caught as well. It's both, but I've never caught that fish, so it's pretty exciting for all of us. But we're resetting on our next spot. And, there's a good chance of a lot of different species here, so today could be pretty exciting. We just moved out to 400 meters, which is like 1,200 feet, and I'm gonna be pretty low on my spool by the time I get down there. However, I'm using 15-pound tests, and I have a 600-gram jig on that's long and skinny, one of our torpedoes, the All Glow. I've opted to try their Mania rod from Deep Liner, and on the last drop what I noticed was because the rod is so short and stiff, it's a lot easier on my back. In addition to that, I felt a very good connection with the jig, but because the rod was so stiff, I was slowing things down quite a bit. There was no need to pull quickly, but we should be tapping bottom pretty soon here, and hopefully we'll get into some different species in this area right here. Awesome, bro. I guessed right. Get the hook set. You've got one that pierced his head. Right. Oh, look at the teeth.
They'll get you. They get much bigger than that. So
Okay.
I think they caught him. How big? It's not 30 kilo. It's like.
10 kilo.
Yeah, it's around like big. Yeah, like 25 pounds or so.
He's got some nasty teeth, so your leader.
Yeah. So we're using light leader, so it's already kind of sketchy, you know.
And I noticed you went with a really thin wire hook too.
Yeah, and I tried something different here. So if you notice, like these hooks have a swivel on the hook.
Okay.
So we won't use the swivel here, but this is always off, because even if this fish spins up, you know, the hook increases.
Yep. Hey, congrats, bro.
Appreciate it.
Well done.
Apuka!
Apuka! Nicely done. Something on there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Squid whisperer. That's it. He didn't stand a chance.
Pick up, pick up.
It's incredible
Good.
how aggressive these things are. Well, this guy's going in the cooler. So we're gonna put this in the sun. And he says we can eat it today. And it's good with mayonnaise. Chad says everything's good with mayonnaise. You know us. All right, do you guys remember the squid from earlier? Are we eating it?
I'm gonna drop and then eat.
Okay.
Can't ever waste a good opportunity.
I want to see this guy. You think they're gonna eat it? Eat it, Saito.
Yeah.
Right. Hard, hard.
Eat it?
Bite it.
Saito.
Yeah.
Is it good?
It's good.
Good. Okay. Very sweet.
Mike.
Okay, go, go.
All right. Captain said drop jigs. I guess I can't eat any right now, but I'm gonna come back and try it.
No.
This is a black belly rosefish, and we have these in Florida, and they've got big eyes because they're letting out teeth, and a lot of spines as like a defense mechanism. And whenever you cut this fish open, the inside of their cavity, their stomach cavity is black, and that hence the name. But very cool fish. I'm gonna go throw them in the icebox. They're actually very delicious, very good to eat.
Looking back on this trip, it wasn't about the fish we caught. It was about the people, the moments, and the lessons we learned along the way. Slow pitch jigging is more than a technique. It's an art form, it's a science, and a way of connecting with the ocean. Sharing the rail with friends, learning from masters like Mr. Higashimura, and discovering new species in the water halfway across the world, that's something I'll carry with me forever. And at the end of the day, the fish come and go, but the memories, the laughter, and the passion for the sport, that's what really lasts. Thanks for joining me on this trip. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and most importantly, Jig On.